We are live 364 days a year. What are we doing here?
If Dom turns at SummerSlam, I'm shaving my moustache off. I told you, if that happens, it's going. My lip is cold because of a stupid bet that I made with YouTube.
Oh, good.
Wrestle's better than Daniel Bryan Daniels. Better than Okada.
How do you not get 60 after Monday Night Raw?
Welcome to Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast. A show where a rotating cast of wrestling fans from around the world come and share and debate their opinions, with live comments from all of you shown throughout. As after all, fans are what makes wrestling so special. So sit back, grab a beverage and enjoy the show. Good evening from Swansea, South Wales, wrestling fans. We are just over 24 hours away from the retirement of John Cena, which means we're basically 24 hours away from me crying, honestly. I cannot believe it is so close, and on today's episode, we are going to be giving our predictions for the show. The comments are already lively. We got Ian in the chat, Eddie Walker, Kay the Great, and Zach saying that it's Gingerbread House Day and Gingerbread Decorating Day. It's good they're the same day, to be fair, for both of those, but we do have a fun show for you guys today, and joining me for it, we have Shad Talk Scraps. Shad, how are you?
What is going on, Ben? It's your boy Shad Talks Graps, and we are back for another installment of the Wrestling Republic daily broadcast. I'm excited. I am going to be in attendance for Cena's last match tomorrow in the great city of Washington, D.C., the DMV. Y'all know I'm from there, even though I'm wearing Philly stuff. I'm hyped for it, man, and I'm hyped to talk about it. Let's get into it.
Absolutely. And it's not just us doing the predictions today, because we have a very special guest as well from True Heel Heat and also Sports Illustrated, among tons of other wrestling media sites as well. We have the man who basically inspired Becky Lynch's current gimmick. He said she was the best to ever do it, and she basically heard that and just created an entire gimmick out of it, and it has been fantastic. And that is SP3. How are you?
You remind me. I deserve some credit. I want her to, on all the Slam Me awards she's gonna win for this gimmick, she needs to thank me. But thank you guys for having me, or as usual, how I start every stream. Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3, on Wrestling Republic for the first time. Honored to be here with Shad Talks Graps, my good brother. We've done multiple shows together on True Hill Heat, and finally doing a show with Ben, who I've interacted with so many times on social media. Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us for this episode. And without further ado, let's jump into the show, because Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion, will be taking on Obafemi, the NXT champion. And I think basically everybody, or almost everybody, is on the same page about this, that they want Obafemi to get the win. However, for my prediction, I unfortunately don't think that is going to happen. What I think is going to happen is Drew McIntyre is going to get involved, claymore Cody Rhodes, cause a DQ. Everybody's disappointed, and at that point, what I think is going to happen is they're going to lay the groundwork for Obafemi being upset with Drew McIntyre to then go to WrestleMania 42, where Obafemi will make his proper main roster debut and will take on Drew McIntyre. Shad, I want to get your take on this one.
Well, that's a pretty eventful take, first and foremost, by you, allowing Oba to get his first potential rivalry set in stone once he gets into the main roster. I would love that. I look at this card more so as an exhibition, and I see it more so as a standpoint where people will win by not winning. And I think Oba being in a card of this magnitude, having the exposure and sharing the ring with somebody as big time as Cody Rhodes, man, the world universal, whatever the hell that title is called, champion, right? The title that Roman held. So I like to call it. And just everything that he's going on, I feel like that kind of allows us to get familiar of Obafemi that don't watch NXT. And I think, to me, I feel like that's the nuance of it, and that's where you kind of get the okay. Yeah, he belongs here. He's definitely ready for the big stage, and I don't see them having Cody take this loss. I feel like they hold Cody to such a high regard at this point. I think him losing to an NXT superstar, let alone him be the NXT champion, it would. I don't know if they're going to do that. I feel like they want to still keep him protective to that standpoint. Where in Oba's case, I think him losing to Cody doesn't really hurt him by any means. I feel like it is just one lost, but he's got an opportunity to meet him down the road whenever he sees him on the main roster. So to me, I feel like Cody is going to win. I don't know if we'll have any shenanigans. I don't know if we'll have Drew McIntyre pop out. It really it would be nice to see, just because I feel like a lot of these Saturday night main events, besides the fact that this is Cena's last match, seem like a nothing burger in a lot of the sense. I don't feel like anything super crazy happens to it. So to me, I'm going to just go with my guns and think, yeah, this is typical WWE booking, and they're just going to let it be a match. And I got Cody winning.
Well, I do think that you are right, because in my situation, Cody would win because he gets taken out. So it'd be a DQ technically. Oba would feel screwed over, but still Cody would win. So we're both on the same page. But SP3, I want to get your take.
I'm not on the same page. I think that if Cody just wins this matchup, this is all stupid. Ricky Saint should still be the NXT champion, and he should be the one who loses to Cody. It makes no sense for Obafemi to become a 2-time NXT champion, to set up Obafemi versus Cody Rhodes on this show, for Cody just to win. No, nothing about it. Simple as that. I think that is well in the possibility, and you guys could be 100% right. I just hope that WWE is not that stupid, because why would you have Obafemi lose when he wasn't going to be in this matchup as originally? And most people thought Ricky Saints was going to retain the title last Saturday, and it would have been Cody versus Ricky, a match that makes a whole bunch of sense due to their connection. And Ricky can take that loss perfectly fine in comparison to Obafemi, the all-dominant ruler of NXT, only taking 3 losses in his whole career. Cody, with a crossroads? With a roll-up? That's stupid. I hope they're not that stupid. I think the right decision is for Obafemi to win, because that's the best way to put someone over, to set them up for a great main roster, run. However, I know this company. I've been watching WWE my entire life. They're not going to do that. First of all, Obafemi's from NXT. They're not going to have an NXT guy beat the WWE champion. Second of all, Obafemi's black. They're not going to have a black guy be the WWE champion. So, no, that's not going to happen either. Creatively, no one should lose. Drew McIntyre comes in. He hits Oba with a Claymore. Oba wins by DQ. It furthers the Drew McIntyre-Cody feud, because Drew is getting under the skin of Cody, who just wanted to have a wrestling match against the best wrestler from NXT. Furthermore, making him more annoyed and giving him more incentive to beg Nick Aldis to unsuspend Drew McIntyre so they can have their blow-off matchup. That makes much more sense, and much in the realm of what WWE usually would do.
Well, there we have it. Similar to me, but the opposite way, where technically Obafemi would win the match. But I agree with you as well, and so does Ian in the comments, saying that Oba should win, and he wishes it would be in the way that Cena put over KO. That is what I wanted here.
Yeah.
I want that too, by the way. I don't want it to be... Look, this is me thinking on what they will do as a prediction. I would have Obafemi win as well. I feel like, man, I feel like I've talked about it with both of y'all, honestly, on many different shows. There's got to be some people that you got to really push for for tomorrow, for the next few years and whatnot. And I don't know if they're starting to do that with Braun Breaker, obviously, but like, that's just one guy. They need to have a lineup of a couple guys. Like, I remember watching WWE when it was like a multitude of different guys. You had a bunch of people who were in the main event scene that you could rotate. Nowadays, it doesn't feel like that at all. It's a hand, like literally I can count on my hand, and that's about it. Where you used to have like a rotation of at least like 8 people that you could, mix and match, do different stuff, and a lot of high caliber mid card guys that you could put into position, and they haven't really built anybody to that standpoint. And I feel like allowing that to happen for Oba, I think the Kevin Owens comparison like is one of the best ones. And I feel like Cody would do the job putting him over too. I don't think he's
he would.
we feel like he's this beneath him. So
I was gonna say, I think that yeah, there was a time very recently that WWE had a lot of main eventers. Remember back in 2023, what everybody was saying? Oh, you got Roman, you got Seth, you got Kevin Owens, you got Sami Zayn, you got Jey Uso, you got LA Knight, and they have by their own volition and their own power basically dropped it down and subtracted it. So only 4 guys are considered main eventers, really. It's Cody, it's Roman, it's Punk, it's Seth. Those are the only guys that we can realistically see in the main event of a WrestleMania. Therefore, they are the real main eventers. And then they just added another one. Unfortunately, it's a guy that's mentioned 44 times in a lawsuit.
Yeah, you're not wrong there at all. But if I had the pen, this is what I would have done if I was creative, right? Front row, right at the start, both Cody Rhodes and Obafemi have entered. They're facing off in the ring. Front row, Drew McIntyre shows up because he's bought a ticket. Cody Rhodes sees him, thinks immediately, okay, Drew's going to get involved. He's shouting, he's furious, and all of this. The bell then rings. Cody Rhodes is partially distracted. He has looked back now at Obafemi. Obafemi's not blindsiding him, but in his head, he's a little bit thrown off, and Obafemi basically just destroys him for 4 minutes straight. And that's how you get Obafemi looking like an absolute monster, but it protects Cody to a degree because at least he was distracted. At least there was a reason. And then when Oba does get called up, suddenly he's, due a WWE Championship opportunity.
I think the issue with that is we don't know when Obafemi's going to get called up. We were all under the understanding when he lost the title to Ricky Sainz. We were like, call him up. He's ready. Like, we were all saying that. And then he wins back the NXT championship. That's the only reason why we're having this matchup. None of that. It would your booking makes a whole bunch of sense if they didn't put the NXT championship back on him. So we're at least waiting till after WrestleMania for him to get called.
Yeah. Because initially I thought it was more so. I do believe he got the title because they wanted to put him in position for this match against Cody. Like, it truthfully is the reason why he's got the title back. And that sucks for Ricky Sainz. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I feel like Ricky Sainz just started to really get a little comfortable. I'm excited to see what this whole heel turn does. I think he's amazing. Ricky's an amazing talent in general, but it's one of those cases. And now, like, you put the title back on him. Now you got Tony D'Angelo back. They're gonna have to, settle some sort of score, I would assume. Obviously, I would like to see him drop the belt to Javon, but even for Javon's case, I think you could have had Javon and Ricky been the feud that went ongoing and him getting the title off of Ricky instead of Oba. It does feel very convoluted. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's what I always say about NXT on Tuesday nights. And that's why people dislike me all of a sudden now.
It doesn't make any sense at all. I'm going to quickly read out some comments. DCX Waller correctly pointing out that Cody has cheated for his past title defenses at Saturday night's main event. He has. And then we've got Eddie Walker saying McIntyre versus Femi would be incredible. I think regardless, we are going to be getting that eventually for sure. We got Fernando in the chat saying Obafemi should totally win. And also DCX Warlord saying Wesley could have really been a good mid-card guy on the main roster. He could have. That is for sure.
I like Desmond Xavier better, though.
Oh, no, he is doing great work now. He absolutely is. There's no doubt about it. But I think he could have worked in WWE. I really do.
No, he could have. I'm poking fun because I love that he refers Wesley as just a completely different person in interviews and stuff like that. It's hilarious. He's like, that's a mean guy, man. And they even bring it up on TNA too. Like I saw they were talking about in the little
clubhouse
blunt rotation that they do. That's fun. Yeah, treehouse.
I can't believe they're still doing those. Like that's now been a bit for what, like 7 years or something. It's incredible.
Yeah, for a while.
They were first in TNA.
Yeah, nuts. Right, up next, Bailey versus Sol Ruka. I mean, Sol Ruka, we have seen her quite a few times on the main roster so far in brief appearances. Of course, on SmackDown a few months ago, I remember she had a tag match, and I believe a singles match at one point as well. But she will be back in action once again, and I truly do think they have big, big plans for Sol Ruka on the main roster. And this match I am excited for. Now, this is undoubtedly the hardest match on the entire show to predict, right? Because Bailey is somebody who at any given time would love to lose to a wrestler like Sol Ruka. She'd just be happy to do it. But even with that being said, I feel like maybe Triple H at this point in time is thinking, you know, Bailey's taken a lot of losses over the last couple of years. We've just repackaged her. She probably can't take another loss. So I am going to predict Bailey will win. But Shad, what's your take?
I love Bailey so much. I think Bailey is so important for pro wrestling. I love everything that she's done this past week, giving back to the wrestling community and a lot of women out there. It's bridesmaid, not the bride. That's how they view her. That's how they view her. And I feel like this is a opportunity for allowing someone incredible as Bailey go out there, put on a banger match versus a young talent, and put over the talent. I think Sol Ruka does win this match. I think this is potentially the first little bit of a taste to kind of let people know, like, okay, yeah, we do have plans for this girl, and she's going to be a factor when we get in there. I don't know what, like, Bailey's booking nowadays is so confusing more than anything. Like, I know they had this initial character, you know, like the movie Split, where she kind of goes in and out of personalities. But to me, I feel like her whole thing is just this tag team with Lyra that they have, and they're just another tag team on Raw more than anything. I don't know if they have any clear direction for her. To me, I feel like Sol Ruka does got a little bit more clear direction. I feel like she's been, you know, playing this injury angle. She's got this whole situation with Zarya. She's had 2 belts. Like, there's a lot more direction to her. And I feel like at this point, they can see more benefit for her winning that than Bailey beating her. Bailey beating her would be a cool moment. It's a win on Saturday night's main event. But I don't know how much it does for her. So for that reason, I'm going with Sol Ruka.
Well,
and I get to see the Soul Snatcher live also. That's going to be fire.
Probably the best finisher right now. It is absolutely amazing. But SP3, what's your pick?
I think Sol Ruka was the right choice from the NXT women's division. She has all the makings of being like one of the top baby faces on the main roster, whether that be Raw or SmackDown. When I first saw her back in 2022, when she first debuted, I was like, that's female RVD. All she needs is a blunt. Like she is so good in the ring, so innovative, so athletic, and so talented. So it was the right choice. And Bailey is an absolute one of the all-time greats, one of the all-time great women's wrestlers in wrestling history. And how she's given back to the younger generation with her whole training camp that she did, it's so admirable, and it's very much makes her like the female John Cena in a lot of ways. I say all those good things about Bailey to say, there ain't no stopping her now. She's gonna lose another match. It happens every time. I don't understand why we're asking this question. So Ruka wins. Like Bailey, that new character, they dropped that like a month ago. She's losing. It's obvious. This was hard to predict though, because Sol Ruka can be cost this match by Zarya, who will be in her corner. But I favor Bailey losing this WWE strategy all the time over everything. So Sol Ruka wins.
The thing is, you just mentioned the Zarya thing, and the comment section is absolutely convinced that Zarya is going to turn heel.
I can see it.
I don't know, man. I feel like that's going to be saved for some NXT show. Like, I feel like they're going to hold.
Well, there is support to the comments, because what happened the last time they did a major heel turn for the NXT Women's Division? They did it on a main roster show. Blake Monroe turning on Jordan.
That's true.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
Very true.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot more eyes.
I mean, it very well could happen, but I don't look. To everything SP3 said, man, it's just is so in line to what Bailey's booking has been. Like it just I don't know what can change for it. I said it last year on the pod, and I will say it to this day. She needs to get out of there when her contract is up, and she needs to go wrestle in AEW. Like I'm not like, and this isn't me saying I want AEW to get all the. Nah, this is what if there was a wrestler in AEW that I felt had a similar situation where like, yeah, they need to go elsewhere. Maybe WWE could do them favors. She needs a fresh paint, new start, do some stuff that I feel like she may want to do. Like I look at her and I feel like a lot of it seems just so uninspiring too. And it's more so like I don't know her obviously, and I can't speak for her, but stuff that she says on podcasts and stuff like that, body language, posts online, it tells you that she feels a bit of frustration, and a lot of it is uninspiring. But when you see her do stuff outside of it, working with all these independent women's wrestlers, I know damn sure she would love to wrestle all those girls right now if she had the ability to. So to me, like, it's just one of those things where she's just stuck in the mud. And WWE, they got a lot of talented women in that company, and they keep growing, like, like the crop just grows month upon month. Like we talk about like Evolve and stuff. You got girls who could be ready for NXT, and then you got them NXT girls that could get ready for the main roster, and then they sign people. So to me, like, I don't know. I don't know if she'll ever get back in that place in time where she'll be a main event player again.
I hope you're wrong, but I think you might be right. And I would agree, to be honest. I would love to see her in AEW. But up next, we have got to talk about the WWE Tag Team Championship match. The team which we have basically coined as Dragon Styles taking on defending against Great. The team of Dragon Styles taking on defending against Leon Slater and Javon Evans. I'm so happy for Leon Slater, who gets to wrestle his idol. I remember I was watching him at the Progress show a couple of years ago in person, thinking this dude is incredible. And now he is going to be on the same show as John Cena's last match. Absolutely nuts, but I'm really happy for them. But there's no way in hell they're winning. Dragon Styles are 1000% retaining here. I'm absolutely certain of it. But SP3, what's your take on this one?
There is a glimmer of hope for the youngest OGs in charge fans. From what I read on WWE.com, and you can correct me, you can look it up if you want, this match isn't for the World Tag Team Championship, so it's a non-title. So that gives them the smallest slither of a hope to win this matchup. Nonetheless, they're going to lose. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee will get the win, but this should be the show stealer. Seeing AJ Styles in the ring with Leon Slater, who I think has an argument for being the breakout star in wrestling of this year. He's just so good, so talented. He was able to break out in TNA. That should tell you everything. And he is guaranteed to sign with WWE when he becomes available, because it's quite obvious they love him here and they love the tag team, the combination with Javon Evans. Javon Evans going to be an absolute megastar on the main roster. He's just too talented. He's so genuine, and he's just a likable babyface character, and he's young. He had 15 years of being a top guy instead of waiting 15 years, Mark Henry. But Dragon Lee, AJ Styles, they're the new hot commodity in the tag team division. They should win, and they'll eventually probably lose to Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, the Usos, for the tag team titles eventually. But for now, they'll win this non-title match.
Man, we're so far removed from the Usos, we just got to call it Jay. Jay
and Jimmy.
Jay and his brother. But I have just looked it up. I think you're right as well. I don't think it is for the titles, but it's really confusing. Like, some websites are listing it as for the titles.
Yeah.
The WWE website doesn't mention it, though, so I'm presuming that means that it's not.
And when they first showed the graphic, it didn't say it either. All the graphics don't say for the World Tag Team Championships. Like I saw people saying that. I'm like, no, I literally review Raw every week. I'm pretty sure they never said it was for the World Tag Team Championship. You gotta realize when WWE is telling you something without telling you something.
Yeah. I mean, I hate it when that happens. If you're the champion and you lose, you should lose your belt no matter what. But I think you are right. And if that is the case, right, despite what I said a sentence ago, Javon and Leon Slater, they need to win. And then you can do the rematch on Raw next week and they can lose. That's fine. But getting a big win like this on a stage like this, that would be a huge deal for them. But Shad, what is your prediction?
Yeah, so this is definitely potential match of the night just off of the caliber of opponents you have in it. I mean, all four of these guys are sensational wrestlers. AJ Styles is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Dragon Lee is one of the best luchadors in wrestling right now. And then you got two guys that are like budding rookie of the year type talents. Like they're in the like early parts of their career. God knows how amazing they'll be once they get to the prime of their careers. But they're just a fun unit to see work together. They're a fun unit to go against each other. They just have a synergy. Like they're literally like it's the UK version of Javon Evans is Leon Slater, and the American version of Leon Slater is Javon Evans. Like they got that young energy, man. These guys both have similar styles as in-ring competitors, and it's gonna be a blast. But I would love to see them win. I want them to get every tag team title in that company, to be honest with you, just because I'm such a big fan of both of them. And, you know, I told Bailey should sign to AEW. I think Leon should just go to the WWE. It's time, man. Like, as young as you are, as much of an opening that there is in NXT on that men's side, he could instantly flourish. They already see him in a very positive light. They had him in the Iron Survivor match, and now they got him wrestling John Cena's retirement. Like, if that's not the the stage is your kind of feel to it, I don't know what is. So it's gonna be interesting. But I got AJ and Dragon winning it. They're the main roster competitors. I feel like they want to still keep them strong, and they're still relatively a new tag team. So I got them, but I am rooting for the youngins.
I am as well. I hope you are right there. We got DCX Warlord saying AJ Styles pin Slater and AJ challenges Slater on the first episode of TNA on AMC. I'd love that singles match. Love it. Numero 1 says that Javon and Leon Slater will win as Leon will pin AJ Styles. And again, leading to Leon versus AJ on the debut.
Look, AJ Styles says he don't think he's going to wrestle there, though.
Breaks my heart. Breaks my
heart. And he said that with so much like realness too. He's like, yeah, they don't want me to wrestle there. Like they let me do that, but
that would break my heart.
It's an NXT partnership.
Because he needs to end it on a good note. Because when he left, it wasn't so much a good note. He needs to end it properly on a nice note. Kay the Great says Game of Thrones will win. Of course, a reference from the Wrestling Republic podcast this week. But we landed on Dragon Styles in the end. That's where we landed on. But up next, guys, John Cena's final match. And I cannot believe even now I am saying that, but it is. John Cena versus Gunther. And this is difficult to predict because there's so many different theories out there. But I think, and I can't believe I'm saying this, as this entire time I've thought Cena was going to lose his last match. I think Gunther's going to win this. I think Gunther's going to lose this because I do think John Cena is going to win. He's going to beat him. He's going to send the crowd home happy. Everybody's going to be celebrating, and it'll be a nice ending. I don't think he's putting over Gunther, and I cannot believe I'm saying that, Shad.
It's fine, man. Look, I got to just say this first and foremost because I am so tired of online discourse in regards to Gunther. This is the right person for this match at this point. This man is credible. This man is deserving. He's one of the best wrestlers on that roster. This is the right person to pick. It wasn't supposed to be LA Knight. It wasn't supposed to be Jey Uso. It's supposed to be Gunther. It's going to hit different, man. It's going to be a special night. I'm so excited to be there live in attendance for it. To think like, man, I remember watching his debut, you know, in the WWE that first time he showed up and smacked Kurt Angle. I remember my brother used to, you know, check in on the OVW stuff and talking about him in that whole class when I was a little kid as well. So how time has progressed, we've gone, you know, decades upon decades, and it being his last match, it makes me feel old, but it also has me excited to see that he is been able to, even though it hasn't been the greatest tour, he's been able to kind of do this and go out on his own terms and still, you know, do stuff at the best caliber that he can, you know, with old age, with injuries and all that. Sometimes that gets stripped away from you. So him being able to, you know, bow down one last time and have that match is dope to see. John Cena got to win this match. Gunther doesn't necessarily need to beat him. Gunther does his job by being who Gunther is. Gunther is that final boss type of character. Gunther is that immaculate heel. He's the mountain that you kind of gotta, you know, climb to reach the pinnacle. And to me, that establishes anything more to it. So I think Cena does win this match, and I think it's going to be a great moment. I think the entire crowd is going to love it. I think it's going to be one of the biggest pops you'll ever hear. It's when he gets that 1-2-3 win over him. And yeah, man, I got Cena winning it, man. I'm excited to be there. Like I said, my dog Davis, who's also in the comments, it's going to be one of the ones, man.
Well, we're on the same page, but SP3, do you think Cena's going to win his final match?
Gunther is the right person. Shad is absolutely right. Like, Gunther is the best male wrestler in this company. Only reason I don't say the best wrestler in this company because Io Sky exists. But he is the best male wrestler in this company. He made the Last Time Is Now tournament. He had the 4 best matches in his 4 matches in the tournament and made this something that you can look back on a little bit fondly to remember the bangers that he put on with Javon Evans, Carmelo Hayes, Solo Sikoa, and LA Knight. So Gunther is the right person to do this. He's a dominant monster heel, and much of Cena's career has been defined about his matches with these dominant monster heels. Back in 2007 against Umaga in the Last Man Standing matchup, even the performance that JBL, who's kind of a chicken shit heel at the time, sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But chicken heel at the time, he was very dominant and very kind of a monster heel when he faced Cena in the I Quit match back in 2005. Cena had some of the best matches that Great Khali ever had in his career. So he's been defined by facing these monstrous heels and a lot of times these foreign heels. So Gunther is the right person, especially for the setting. Washington, D.C., the home of the nation, and Cena been this Marine type figure and been this representative of America and the United States. It makes sense for him to face someone like Gunther. So this is the perfect opponent. As far as the matchup go, it makes a whole lot of sense for Gunther to win because it establishes Gunther as the new legend killer. He beat Goldberg at the last Saturday Night's Main Event in July, retired him. Now he would be retiring Cena. Then it sets up a magical dream match of Legend Killer versus Legend Killer when Orton wants to end his career. And then he can end Orton's career as well. You could just have him tally up all these legends that he could retire, and that would really elevate him in the all-time great conversation because that is what WWE is doing right now. They are building an all-time great resume for Gunther, the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, 2-time World Heavyweight Champion, King of the Ring. He's retired Goldberg. Now he's going to retire Cena. That makes all the sense in the world. However, I was in the building for Sting's last match at AEW Revolution, and I know all 15,000 people in Washington, D.C. want to see their childhood hero be the hero again. So I've been screaming from the rooftop that the only way that squashing John Cena at WrestlePalooza against Brock Lesnar, that beating John Cena in his last PLE against Dominic Mysterio makes any kind of sense is if Cena wins his last matchup. You send the fans home happy. They get to see their hero being the hero again. He gets the big win against Gunther, and then you get to celebrate him. Then it's a happy goodbye instead of a sad goodbye because he quit, because he gave up in his final match. He finally gave up. That's the end of the John Cena story. We get to see John Cena just be a loser again, like he's been a loser for much of this retirement tour. I don't think that's the right ending. The right ending is to send the fans home happy, to let John Cena be the hero again, get the big victory, and plus it helps everybody out, in my opinion. Cena gets the proper send-off. Gunther then has the incentive, and he gets heat back. That's the big thing, because remember all the heat that he got for tapping out to Jey Uso. He can get all that heat back for being the last person that lost to John Cena, and it gives him extra incentive, extra urgency to win the Royal Rumble. He becomes an actual contender to win the Royal Rumble, because that's the only way he can get back into the title picture. If he wins, what is stopping him from getting back in the title picture? There should be nothing. You just beat John Cena in his final matchup. You should get a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. But we've done that so many times. We've done that for 2 years with Gunther. Give him something new. Let him actually start from the bottom, lose for Cena, and then he's desperate to win the Royal Rumble. Plus, Dominic Mysterio benefits from this, because he can walk around and say, I was the last guy to beat John Cena. I retired John Cena. He beat Gunther. I'm the guy that retired John Cena. It helps multiple people if Cena wins.
I absolutely agree with you, and we're all on the same page about John Cena. Plus, you mentioned Lesnar beating Cena, and Cena mentioned it in an interview this week that was to try and help build Lesnar for when he does retire, which could potentially be at SummerSlam next year. I'm not saying I want to see it, but what I think they're going to do is do Gunther versus Lesnar in his last match next SummerSlam and have Gunther beat him then. So even still, Gunther will end up getting that big win over another legend.
I love Cena. I love John. That reasoning is so like nah, man. Like I just don't.
I think John Cena has. John Cena's been on.
Other that. Go ahead.
John Cena has been on a Hall of Fame run of bad answers this week with his interviews.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah.
It's really bad.
It's like it's trained now.
Thank you. Like it's like I see the script when he's saying words. I see the script that he read. That's how much robotic his answers are.
Yeah.
It's horrific. It really, really is. Oh my gosh. And I mean, it's gotten him in trouble before as well, because he always tries to just be by the book, but in reality, you just got to be yourself. Otherwise, you're going to end up in trouble anyway.
Sure.
But let's see what the comments are saying here, because Ian is saying he was 17 when Cena debuted, and now at 41, he will see him off. Ben Davis is saying Cena is putting over Femi, Leon Slater, Evan, Sol, Ruka, Dragon Lee just for this show happening. That is true as well. Eddie Walker saying Cena wins before The Rock comes out for one makeshift match and squashes Cena to end the show. What is this obsession with The Rock having some involvement in this? It's not happening.
Come on, guys. Come on, y'all. We don't want that.
Those are the people who are still blaming The Rock for this retirement tour. I got a secret for you. It was Triple H. You drank the Kool-Aid and he convinced you it was The Rock.
Oh my gosh. Well, I can't see that happening. But what I think we could see happening, maybe even tonight on SmackDown, because they have announced a tribute for him, is a video package. And perhaps we could see some stars from elsewhere appear on it, because we've seen that in the past. That would not surprise me at all for John Cena's final match. Of course, on AEW Dynamite this week, Samoa Joe did a little bit of a tribute to John Cena as well. So, Numero One says that special guests to appear will be Roman, Triple H, JBL, John Cena Sr., and all of the competitors, friends, and families he's known over the years. Super Cena to the moon, says Davis. And Numero One saying that Cena will win his final match. And two things will happen, as The Rock will appear and get an AA by Cena before telling him, "You ruined my tour." Then we get a celebration for Cena like Ric Flair did in 2008. Again, SP3, like you're saying. Why? I don't even.
Do people? So I guess people with that comment. So you had a comment a couple of ones ago about the video baggage. Is that people wanting like Cope to say something in regards to it? Is that what we're all wanting?
I think, yeah.
Okay.
And I got pushback. I got pushback by saying Cope is his best feud. It's not CM Punk. It's Cope. People ignore the fact he works for another company because he's the person they want to see in his final match. That's proof enough. He's the best rival in John Cena's career. Y'all are just ignoring truth and facts to just say he's going to do something for this retirement tour.
Oh, yeah. Cope. I mean, Cope, Orton. I mean, those are probably like my two favorite foes that he's had. I mean, Punk for me don't hit as much just because I wasn't watching wrestling as actively, but I do feel I understand the importance of it and whatnot, but it is Edge, Adam Copeland, and that's why people are begging for some like people are trying to like write letters to Tony Khan, please lend Cope to him, please. And I'm just like, nah, man. I said it on a podcast that when we were talking about it on a mailbag. Tony, it does not do him any service letting them get him. And I'm glad he didn't. You stand 10 toes down. You flick the bird to that company. That's what it is. They play games with you like that. You play games with them like that. You don't owe him nothing. Yeah.
Our Instagram comment section is still convinced that Edge is showing up tomorrow. And I'm like, do people not understand how contracts work? It's absolutely ridiculous. But guys, that does bring us to the end of the show. Thank you to everybody who is watching and commenting along. We really appreciate it. We will be back same time, same place tomorrow. And shout out to SP3 for joining us here today. Anything you want to shout out, SP3?
Oh, no, thank you guys for having me on. Always enjoy your work when I'm watching on the other side of the screen and seeing what you guys talk about and the conversation and discourse that you do on this channel. So hit the subscribe button and support them like I do. And yes, thank you for having me. You could follow me at True Hill SP3. That's TRU, no E, because I speak Ebonics. And that's same for True Hill Heat Wrestling. I'll be live tomorrow at 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time with the True Hill Heat flagship podcast, and later on tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern over on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. We got a special top 10 best John Cena moments. Me and my good brother, the True Draw Josh, we went through our top 10 best or favorite John Cena moments throughout his career. So we talk about things from his debut all the way through his retirement tour. So it's a good one. Check it out tonight.
Definitely make sure you guys do. Thank you once again for joining us, SP3, and thank you to Shad as well. We will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.